Magnus and Ellegaard may think they can stop me, that they can destroy the Witherstorm, but they are mistaken, and it will cost them their lives.
And that's exactly what it did. I can't believe Ivor has really predicted the future. He said that little speech at the end of episode 2, and that's exactly what happened. So again, depending on whose armor you chose, that's who died. Now, of course, I'm assuming you guys have seen episode 3. If you did not, there's a playlist down below in my channel that you can check out. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about episode 4, possibly some death predictions. Also, how could the Witherstorm possibly be defeated? Now it's like in 3 parts. It's kind of insane now, and it looks really crazy. It's a lot much worse. Well, it's way worse than what it was before. Also, if you can, drop the video a like and share it. It is much appreciated and shows your support for the channel. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So again, depending on whose armor you took, that is the main character that kind of dies. The fact that he kind of pointed out Ellegaard and Magnus, I don't know why I didn't really think of that point when he said that, especially when it got to the point to where you had to choose their armor. But I kind of don't think anyone expected like a character from the Order to actually die. Now, this is a big like step for episode 3, also episode 4, because you know, a main character, almost a main character from the Order dies. Now, that means they're gonna have to go on to the story, like you're gonna go on the story without that character. So it's gonna be a lot of changes depending on who you chose. I bet a lot of different things are gonna happen, both routes. So that's gonna be quite interesting to see the both routes, like Ellegaard's route, like if you chose Ellegaard armor, in the route that if you chose Magnus armor, because you got to remember you're on with the character that, you know, the character that you didn't choose the armor with, and a lot of things are going to be quite different. Now at the end of episode 4, you don't really see the character that died, so there's no way, I don't think they're going to come back. I do want to answer the question that I've been getting asked a lot, is do you think the character is going to respawn? I mean, you do respawn in Minecraft, you know, but I don't think the character is going to respawn. It would be quite cool if they added that feature, maybe at the end of episode 5 or something like that, the end of the series, like after, let's say, they defeat the Witherstorm. But who's going to say at the end of episode 5 they're going to defeat the Witherstorm? They're not saying they're going to carry the Witherstorm on forever, but we just don't know. As of now, it's literally split into 3 parts, which is just insane. I don't think anyone expected that to happen. But I didn't expect you to defeat the Witherstorm and you have like another boss to fight during episode 3, but I didn't expect it to kind of split into 3 parts, and it just looks insane, like really unstoppable now, because it's like 3 Witherstorms all in one. I don't know, it's just insane. But yeah, I think the title of episode 4 is called Between a Block and a Hard Place. Now, a lot of you guys also thought that the block is probably the command block. Now, that's what I'm thinking as well, because that block is in a hard place. It's within the Witherstorm. Now, I do think in episode 4, possibly, the only way you can probably defeat the Witherstorm is to kind of fight it from inside. We do see some characters like at the end of episode 3, they're actually coming out of the Witherstorm. Now, we did kind of have this theory at the end of episode 2, I believe, like what if the characters like come back out of the Witherstorm, like all the characters that's pretty much been eaten up by this monster, they actually come back out. And it's true, they do come back out. Although they did look like zombies, they did come out, and it seems like you talked to about 2 or 3 people, and they seem to like not have lost their memory. So on this point, I'm a little confused because, again, at the very end, you end up finding Gabriel or Petra, depending on the person you chose, and they've lost their memory due to the witherness, or the wither sickness. But being that the Witherstorm has, like, you know, sucked up all these people, how come they haven't lost their memory? So I'm a little bit lost, a little bit confused on why, as if, you know, why so that, you know, the character that you have kind of like lose their memory, but the characters, you know, that also get eaten up by the Witherstorm, they don't lose their memory either. Now, this could be like, let's say some of the characters that just got eaten up or something like that, but I highly doubt it. I really, really do. So we'll just have to see. But death predictions. Let's talk about characters that we think might die. And this is quite a dramatic topic to talk about because we're talking about losing main characters in this. Now, I have been seeing a lot of comments of you guys saying that Lucas is going to die. I don't think Lucas is going to die. If anything, I think he'll maybe like leave the group and we won't really see him much later. But I don't think he's going to die. They already show like a little drift off that he's leaving kind of in episode 4. Not really a drift off, but he's not like kind of like not on your side, but he's just not there. Like he either he's mad about something, he has an attitude, and he's just kind of not around as much. But you do also see the character that you are with that has been, you know, wither sick. And in my story, I believe it's Gabriel. He's really hurt. I mean, really, really hurt. And he actually passes out in episode 4. And that's not to say that that character dies, of course. But again, I am thinking they're going to need Ivor. Maybe Ivor can make like some kind of a healing potion, a regeneration potion, because I do think Ivor has kind of like these potions. So I do think that's going to happen. Maybe he'll have to, again, my theory is, of course, that Ivor is definitely going to play a big part in episode 4. That I think they're going to talk more about Ivor, who he is, where he came from, and possibly how he can help defeat the Wither Storm, because him and Soren was actually having a talk in episode 4, kind of more, it looked like an argument or whatnot. I think because they're both like genius. I think they both have amazing creations, so of course they kind of like clash heads and things like that. But as far as I think the character that you're with dying, I don't think so. But I think if anyone was to actually die, it would probably be I kind of want to say Soren or Ivor. I don't know why. I just kind of do. Ivor, maybe the Wither Storm kind of eats him up or something like that. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell because these deaths was quite unpredicted. Now I played episode 3 again, trying to like listen to any like key things that they may have said, kind of like how they did episode 2 about, you know, the 2 characters dying. So I don't know if they kind of squeezed in an Easter egg there, but as far as I'm concerned, I don't think they actually did. I played it twice again, and I don't think they've squeezed in any kind of like secret little hidden thing. But as far as anyone from the Order dying that goes along with you, you're not gonna die because of course you're the main character. Reuben, I don't know. Maybe you get stranded and you really need pork chop, and then you have Reuben. No, just kidding. Olivia, I don't think is gonna die, of course, and Axel, I don't think is gonna die. Now, what if they do some kind of a twist that whoever armor that you chose and whoever's like the biggest fan of them, that character dies. So in my series, Magnus dies. So what if Axel dies somehow because, you know, he was kind of linked to him, like that was his fan? So maybe they kind of do that, or I don't know. I really don't know how they're gonna play this out. But again, I do think they're gonna have to get inside the Wither Storm somehow and defeat him from the inside. Now, I don't know how they're gonna do that from all 3, but I'm assuming once you take out the main part, which is the one in the middle, I'm assuming the other 3 can't function and they'll be gone because there's only one command block. We do have to think about that. Also, I did all death scenes, and you guys were quite curious to see that if I did get sucked up by the command block, would you die? You guys thought I left that death scene out, but it turns out you don't, because at the very end you defeat the Wither Storm, you go to the command block and you turn your back and it starts trying to like eat you up. But if you don't tap anything, it doesn't eat you up. Your character that comes back that lost his memory actually saves you. So there is no actual death scene there. But overall, I do think they're gonna have to defeat the Wither Storm within, and they're gonna have to find a way to take out the main part of it. I don't know how, but again, I do think Ivor is gonna play a big part into that, and maybe Ivor even turns around and kind of sacrifices himself, being that he's the one that created it. I don't think he'll get away with, you know, all this creating. He created this monster and kind of thing, and it goes away, and then he doesn't kind of have like a consequence to it. So I do think Ivor might have a consequence. So I think I might stick with Ivor. Possibly, I mean, that's a big possibly dying in episode 4 or 5. I don't know yet, and I am curious to see how this is going to work out, or if they're going to leave some kind of cliffhanger, kind of like how they did on this one. But as far as defeating the Wither Storm, again, they're going to have to do it from the inside out. That's the only way they're going to do it. Other than that, I don't see it ever happening. So episode 4, I just expect to possibly be eaten up by the Wither Storm, but in a good way, and you can actually get out of there. I would love to see scenes within the Wither Storm so you can see what it looks like inside of that monster. But that's pretty much it for today's video on the discussion on some death predictions. Also, some insight on episode 4, how they can defeat the Wither Storm. But what do you think down below in the comments? Do you think this would work? Do you think they'll have to fight the Wither Storm from inside out? I honestly think that's the only way, unless Ivor makes another fancy potion, if that works. But it's kind of covering up the command block, so we'll just have to see. But yeah, drop the video like, it is much appreciated, and again, feel free to subscribe to stay updated with more Minecraft story mode news and more. And until the next, I will talk to you guys later. Peace out. Bye.